person who supports stereotype. I hate stereotypes because I feel stereotypes makes us lazy. It does not allow changes.
Yeah, I think you're right, because when we come to stereotypes, it does give the sense and perception of people that, okay, it's the norm is like
Yes,
this.
so
Can you
they
share it
normally
with us?
say that the best view often comes after the hardest climb.
ACCA has these really, really tough exams.
Uh-huh.
People will bound to not succeed, fail.
Of course.
Nah,
The toughest thing is to start. Like whatever we do, like the toughest thing is just to start. You know,
that's a really good tip.
small habits will make a lot of difference.
It's really, really good. I've actually never heard that before. But are you willing to be uncomfortable for
Yes, for the
the
first
first 5
minutes.
minutes? Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the initiative have to come from yourself. You need to be able to be firm with yourself and tell yourself that no matter what, I'm going to sit in the exam and I'm going to do well.
Hey everyone, welcome back to your LSAF Podcast, your key to global careers. And today, we're joined in another episode with one of our LSAF alumni, Miss Simran Ramchandani. Hi Simran, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, RJ?
Okay too. And for those of you who don't know yet, a bit of a background for Simran here. She was a student in LSAF and she did all her 9 papers for bachelor's degree, her
Yeah.
research and analysis project, the RAP, the thesis basically, and all professional papers, right? To get you the title ACCA.
Yes.
Is that correct?
One more left.
One more left, yeah.
Yeah.
So a really long road she has been through, and
Yep.
now she's here today to share her story. And mind telling us now what you're up to and what you've been doing these past few years after finishing it all?
So after I've been working ever since I was studying, so it was like part-time work. But now since I've finished everything, I have started working full-time, and I have also started lecturing in LSAF.
Lecturing LSAF as a
Yes.
teacher now, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that's why I was referring to her as Miss Simran, because basically she's a teacher now. And so everyone's been through the pandemic stage, right? We're basically coming back to the normal before the pandemic. But I just want to ask you though, perasaan ni gimana pas pandemi gitu? The 2-3 tahun nggak ngapa-ngapain at home, just on your own. How does it affected you? Because I'm sure it's affected all of us recently. And
Yeah.
I just want to know from your side especially. Itu gimana?
Okay. So initially, it was really unproductive. I was just at home, and then I was just like lazing around at home basically and procrastinating. But as time went on, I said to myself, like this virus is not going to go soon. So we need to kind of live with it. So I just need to step up and do something. I can't just wait till the day like the virus will be over.
So what you do?
So I get back to what I did before the pandemic, but it was just like everything is now converted to online, like studies, work, and everything.
Right. Kalau misalnya daily activities, your day to day, what do you do like these days?
I start my day with a gratitude journal. So I have a gratitude journal
It's
where
like
I
a diary.
like a
Okay.
journal diary. So I start my day writing down 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then I go to work.
Okay.
And then once I'm back from work, I have my me time. I kind of chill and everything for a few hours. Then whatever work I have left, then I'll try to complete it again during the weekdays. Okay, this is
Okay.
like just the monotone type
Yeah,
of weekdays. And then I'll have my dinner and go to bed.
I see.
Weekdays are very like
So-
straightforward.
But it's
just
been more productive,
work.
right?
Yes.
Way more productive than how it's been during the pandemic
Yes,
before.
because right now everything is slowly getting back to normal.
Right.
So yeah, it's been great so far.
Awesome. So if I'm not wrong, the last classes you took in LSAF were what 2-3 years ago maybe,
Yeah,
in
probably.
2019. Yeah.
But I've had the opportunity to join few online classes though.
Online classes.
Yeah, my professional papers,
So-
I think some of them, 1 or 2 of them were online.
So you've never really been to campus offline ever since then.
No.
How does it feel coming back here with
it
all the changes?
feels-
And we have our own podcast now basically.
Yes.
How's it?
Feels nostalgic basically to come back here. The interior around here is still pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But it's just that there are a few things that they have added, and it's just like walking down the memory lane.
Awesome. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people watching here would like to know your thoughts and your opinions of ACCA, the journey, and LSAF as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right into the questions.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the stereotype that ACCA is a hard subject and it's impossible to do without really, really focusing on it, and like people easily fail, and it's basically an impossible climb? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. So first of all, I'm not the person who kind of focus, or I'm not a person who support stereotype. I hate stereotypes because I feel stereotypes makes us lazy. It does not allow changes. It just makes us follow the same frame of mind every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, I don't like stereotypes, and I would like to break all kind of stereotypes.
Yeah.
So, but yes, having said that, there are so many stereotypes regarding ACCA. I just spoke to someone like few weeks ago. He was just asking me for advice, like ACCA is too hard and there are too many modules to learn and everything. But I said to him, like, what is easy in life? There's a price that you need to pay for everything.
Yeah.
So if you wanna work hard, then there's nothing that is too difficult.
Yeah, I think you're right, because when we come to stereotypes, it does give the sense and perception of people that, okay, it's the norm is like this.
Yes, and then they tend to follow it.
Yeah, and then basically like, okay, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
so
give
it
up.
doesn't allow any change.
Hmm.
So we just tend to follow it, and then like everyone will just say, okay, this is hard.
It's
then
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I get it, because stereotypes, they set a norm and perspective for people, so that, okay, it's like this, I have to be like this as well, so it's okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when I first joined ACCA, there were a few relatives of mine who just came up to me and said, "Are you sure you want to join ACCA? It's just too hard." And I'm like, "No, why not? Like try it."
Of course. Yeah.
So yeah, I think stereotype doesn't allow you to be creative.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow you to try new things.
Definitely. I can really relate to that as well, because I'm also doing my ACCA papers, and with the perception that ACCA is hard, sometimes I just feel like I just can't be bothered with this,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah.
Especially when they hear ACCA, like ACCA, no, it's too
Yeah, it's
difficult.
definitely hard. Yeah.
Whereas actually, when you just go through the process, like you're not expected to complete all the modules in one sitting, right? That's like a process of 2 years in
Yeah.
which you're expected to complete the modules.
Yeah.
So if you take it one by one, if you take it day by day, step by step, I don't think it is that difficult as what people think it is.
Definitely. And I think you're a great example of inspiration for people who are doing these papers, because you've been through hell basically, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I've
that
been
climb,
through it.
all that studying.
Crazy ride.
Yeah.
It was a crazy ride.
And now, how is it though? After all that, what can you say about facing through all these challenges and having reached the end?
Well,
think you
they
shared
normally
this.
say that the best view often comes after the hardest climb.
Yeah.
So to put it in simple words, I would just say that I'm enjoying the view right now.
Yeah. We're all trying to as well. We're reaching for it, I guess. Yeah.
But of course, I'm trying to climb higher.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
Try to be the best versions of ourselves.
Yes, we should keep improving every day.
Of course. All right. So, since ACCA is a college degree basically, and globally certified college degree, there are automatically people who would tend to work, right? Maybe to like pay off their fees
Yeah.
or for experience. What do you think of the many people who are working and doing ACCA at the same time? What are your thoughts on that? Since you did it as well, right?
Yes,
You were
I
also
was working
and
part-time.
studying. What are your thoughts on
Okay.
working and studying?
So I think it is very much doable
Okay.
because I think I completed the first 3 modules. That time I was a full-time student. Then after that, I started looking for a job part-time. So I think it's very much doable. Although at that time, many of my friends told me that, "Are you sure you want to work and study at the same time?" But of course, at first it was really tiring to get to that state of the balance that you need.
Definitely.
Okay, but you just need to really find that balance, like
right.
you need to know what are your priorities, then so that you can divide your time equally. There are 24 hours in a day. So if you are good enough with your planning,
Make the most of it.
so yeah, we can make the most out of it. You need to, I think the key here in work to achieving a work-life balance is to plan, because if you don't plan your day, then someone else will plan it for you.
Right.
There are so many things that will take up your time. There are
For
so
sure.
many distractions
Yeah,
that will be there. So the key is to plan your day.
Right. So you were a full time student before.
Yeah,
And then
during
you-
the diploma level.
Diploma. Then you did part time.
Yeah.
Can you relate a bit more about that part time and what LSAF has done to cope with that working and studying situation?
Can you elaborate further?
So, basically, in LSAF, right, we study from like Monday to Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because you took a job, you took work, you basically work, and you're doing part time. How did you attend classes in LSAF?
Okay. So I think I was attending classes 3 times a week.
Okay.
So the rest of it, the other 2 days, I was working.
Oh, okay.
So during my days that I was working, I just focused completely on my work. And during those 3 days where I was studying, I completely
Just work.
focused on studying. Like the whole day will be spent on studying. But during those 2 days when I'm working, I can't really compromise much on my work as well. So I would focus very much on my work.
I see.
And Saturday, Sunday depends, like which one needs more time.
Attention, yeah. Of course. Okay, jadi kan we at LSAF, we offer a globally certified degree,
Yes.
ACCA. And automatically, because we're students as well, we would want to work for basically the money and the experience.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've done it as well, right? In the
Yes.
past. What are your thoughts on people working and doing ACCA at the same time? Because ACCA kan, as the stereotype says,
Yeah.
berat.
Too difficult, yeah.
Jadi,
So I think I did that too. During my F series,
Okay.
I have started working part-time. And according to me, it's very much doable because there are so many resources that will help you get through. And also during the F series, I was just working part-time. So it was still quite okay. However, during the P, professional paper series, I was already working full-time.
jadi itu everyday tuh.
Yes.
Tapi kalau F
So
series
from-
just like a few days,
few times a week.
Okay,
I
tapi
was
kalau
working and studying. Like it's like almost 50-50.
Okay, but then
But
you come to
when I
professionals,
took the professional paper, I was already
Full-time.
working full-time because I had already graduated, right?
how do you cope with that?
Yeah, so luckily LSAF offers something called as the Saturday classes for the corporate students.
Corporate classes, yeah.
So yeah, that's what was really helpful.
I see.
So I worked from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday I took my professional classes.
I see. So we basically offer, LSF has this program, these corporate class programs for students who are working
Yes.
full time to join classes at the weekends, yeah.
Yes.
And it applies for all, not just professionals, right?
Yes.
Even
Even the F series.
F series, bachelor papers, like I don't know, F8 maybe, PM, all
tax.
those,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that was really useful because other than that, we as working people, we didn't have time to join
Yeah,
classes.
definitely.
Saturday classes is really, really helpful
Nice.
for those who are working.
All right. Because ACCA has these really, really tough exams,
Uh-huh.
people will bound to not succeed, fail.
Of course.
Nah. What if people fail nih? Say I have a friend who recently took an exam and didn't pass. What would you say to those people who fail? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you do? What,
Okay.
How to cope with that?
Yeah.
How to overcome that?
So it can be really demotivating actually to fail an exam, especially those who are in the range of 48 or 49.
Oh.
That hurts a lot.
Yeah, a bit of context. The passing rate is 50.
Yes.
So getting 49,
It's
you're
like
basically 1 mark off, 2 marks off.
the most
yeah.
painful thing in the
Relate.
world.
Wait, but before that, you've never failed a paper, right?
No. Luckily.
Hard work right here.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it can be really demotivating at times. But I think what you need to do is you need to bounce back. So you need to look, first of all, for the reasons, like as to why you failed. Was it because you didn't have enough time to complete the paper? Or was it just because you didn't understand most of the things in the paper? So if you are in your late 40s, like for probably 48, or 47, 48, 49, then that would probably be because of your exam techniques. So in that case, for the next step, you need to focus more on question practice.
I see.
But if you're in your 30s, like 37, 38, then
Re-
that
re-
you need
review
to like
everything, yeah.
relearn
Yeah.
the study text.
Yeah,
you need to
definitely.
like go through the context again.
You said something about bouncing back and feeling demotivated.
Yes.
So this friend of mine who just recently didn't pass, he's very demotivated and he really has no reason to bounce back. Mind giving anyone out there the tips that to actually come back and overcome these tough exams, because studying it again, it's just not nice, you know.
Yes,
Reading
I
the
can
same thing
understand.
again? Nah.
Completely understand.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is to not stop. You know, like it's a professional paper, and we are bound to fail sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like how life is. You know, you won't always succeed in life.
Of course.
But then, so how to bring back your motivation is that, you know, you can always say that there's always another chance. You know, like life always gives you another chance. So, yeah, I mean, if you stop right there, then it's just like delaying the inevitable. At the end of the day, you know you have to complete the degree, the
True.
bachelor degree program. You know, so if you keep on like being in your turtle shell, saying like, no, I don't want to give it another try, or maybe I'll give it another try after 6 months. You know, so that gap of 6 months will make you feel even more distracted,
Yeah.
and you're wasting more time than ever.
Yeah.
So, you know, the key is just to bounce back right after. For example, if you failed in the June intake, then the best thing to do is to resit
Immediately.
in your exam in the next intake, like probably September. Yeah, because in that case, the knowledge would still be fresh,
Yeah.
and you just need to probably focus. If you're in your late 40s, as I said before, you need to just, you know, do more questions
I see.
instead of focusing on the context. You know, whereas compared to the case where people like retake their exams after 6 months or 8 months, you know, so they would just forget everything else,
Yeah.
and they would waste time again to go through the study text and everything,
yeah.
which is just, I feel, a waste of time.
Yeah. It's very tough as well.
Yeah.
Special case scenario. We've all been through the pandemic.
Okay.
2 years of nothing. People at home, bored to death, basically.
Yep.
And of course, even I'm a victim. I failed an exam before the pandemic, and trying to bounce back to that exam again, it's really, really tough. Now, do you have any bit of tips for those who are retaking the exams after, say, a year, even more than 6 months?
Yeah, I think I have also been through that phase because I had kept a gap between my F papers and P papers. You know, after the F papers, I completed the F papers, then there was RAP, and then I did my graduation. Then after that only I started my P papers. So it was kind of daunting for me to again sit in an exam, study everything
Right.
again. But what I did was I just want to get it done. You know, that's what I kept saying to myself. You know, so there's a part of me which says that if I want to do something, I want to do it well.
Yeah.
If I'm watching something, I'll watch it well. If I'm listening to someone, I'll listen to him or her. So this is the same case. So if I've already committed to take up the professional exams, then I want to do it well. You know, I don't want to, you know, do it half-heartedly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like either you're there or you're not. Either yes or
You gotta
no.
be decisive and firm.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. So I think it also panders to those who like to postpone their exams, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on people who love to postpone exams? Say they failed, or maybe they attended classes but they didn't do exams.
Yeah. There.
Aduh, nggak siap. Nanti
Yeah,
aja deh.
not ready. Not
Yeah,
ready.
later deh.
Yeah, there.
What are your thoughts on
many
that?
of my students.
Oh yeah.
Many of my students is like, yeah, I'll do it later. You know, we're not ready yet this
Yeah.
time. Then my
Itu
question
gimana?
to them will be like, when are you ready? You know, it's just like the one that I said just now. You're just delaying the inevitable. At the end of the day, you have to get it done. Whether it's today or tomorrow, you have to finish it off.
Right.
You know, and sometimes, you know, doing the mock exam, you know, while doing the mock exam, they can get really demotivated, you know, like let's say in the first mock exam. Like first mock exam is like 1 month or 1.5 months away from the real exam. I mean, that's the first time you do it. So even if you fail,
It's okay.
it is still very much
Yeah.
normal. Because
normal,
that's like the first step of the way.
Right.
You know, but that's fine. You know, that's where the process of learning starts. You know, you get feedback from that mock,
Yeah.
and you will know your areas. Like I did well in section A, but I didn't do really well in section B and C. So in the real exam, this is what I have to do. In the mock, I didn't get enough time, so I need to work on my time management.
Right.
So the mock that you do is like a learning process.
you get experience from the mocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my advice is that don't get demotivated by the mock
Right.
scores, thinking that you won't, you know, that the same scenario will happen again in the real exam. Because you can always change up your game. You know, like what you did in the mock, you should if it doesn't work, it means that you need to do something differently in the real exam.
Okay.
So for those who keep on postponing, like I would say that, it's just wasting time.
Yeah.
Because you would postpone even further. Like once you give your mind the opportunity to postpone, your mind
You're
would
just
want
gonna go
to
with it.
keep postponing
you're just
it.
gonna go with it,
Okay,
yeah.
like postponing once is fine, but over time it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
yeah, the best advice is to always take like all the intakes,
Mm-hmm.
like for example June intake, and then if you have some other paper left, you can sit in the September and
Yeah.
December intake, to always like make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because then if you keep on postponing, as I said before, it becomes a habit. We think
Right.
that there's an easy way out. Basically, our mind always wants to take the easy way out. And between the two, between taking the exam and postponing, the easier way is, of course, to postpone it. So our mind would always choose to postpone.
Do it later.
Yeah, so I think we have to be firm with ourselves. We have to challenge ourselves that no matter what, I'm going to sit for this exam.
Right.
Even if the mock scores are not really good, the mock scores are not really indicative of what will happen in the real exam. Because mock is like a learning process. You'll get your feedback. You'll know what to do. So based on that, you can reflect on it and do something differently than what you did in the mock.
Right. Yeah, because I think like what you said earlier, if we're basically postponing, we're just delaying the inevitable. At
Yes.
some point, we're gonna have to do these papers, gonna complete this ACCA, and
Yes.
yeah, just postponing it, it would just
Yeah.
take so much time.
Until when will you run away from
Right.
things,
Okay. Speaking about mocks, you were teaching, right?
Yeah.
During the pandemic,
Yes.
online classes.
Yeah.
Nah, about that. I have some friends who joined like online classes too, and I also talked to some teachers who were also teaching online classes.
Yeah.
A very very common
Again, another
occurrence.
stereotype.
Yeah, common occurrence actually.
Ah,
That's true.
okay.
A common occurrence in these online classes, especially during the mocks
Yep.
and progress tests.
I know what's coming.
The cheating.
Yes.
What do you say to those who cheat and just want to get the high score easy way out? Okay, I'm ready. I do the exam. What can you say to those?
Yeah, so I've had that experience. I think not during the mock, but during the first progress test. So I found out that 2 students had the same answers. They
Exact
had the same
same.
mistakes.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
it's a write down. Like
yeah,
explain
It's essay. It's PM, right?
essay. Okay.
Yeah,
And
essay.
they basically.
No, like 2 students having the same mistakes. That's how I get to know.
Okay,
2 students
okay.
having the same mistakes. Or there was also a case where 2 students or 3 students had the same answers in the essay.
So they
in the
copied.
essay.
They-
Yeah.
They just copied from the answer.
Yes.
Ew.
Or their answers were
Very similar.
very similar to the suggested answer.
Okay.
Although yes, they try to be a little creative, they try
Yeah,
to change up the game, but you can get to know from the format or from the language style,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
this is a professional language style, so this is probably from the suggested answer. And the flow of the points, like it's exactly the same. The order, they try to change the words, their style, but the order is exactly as per the suggested
Answer 123.
answer. Yeah.
It's all the-
So you'd get to know really easily.
What do you say to that?
So yeah, that's what I told them actually. When they do all these things, at the end of the day, it's their loss. They can do this in the progress test, they can do this in the mock, but they won't be able to do this in the real exam.
Yeah, that's right.
And at the end of the day, it's their own money, their own time, which they're
Yep.
wasting.
Yep.
So, and we as lecturers, we can't even give them proper feedback
Yeah.
because it's not genuinely their work.
Right.
So they're making it difficult for themselves, right? So yeah, that's what I told them, that, you've invested so much money in taking the class, in registering for the exams. So you're just wasting your own money and time. Then after that, okay, things got better.
Yeah. So it's all on them.
Yeah.
Those who still do that, you guys listen in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, those are just temporary, like progress
Right.
tests, mock.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, what is real is actually the
CBE.
real CBE.
Of course. And I'm sure those who do that don't easily get like 40s even, right?
Nope.
Has there been any
What experience?
Yeah, with like a student who is doing that, and you approve for an exam and they do an exam? Has there ever been any?
The results have not come out yet, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so recently.
Yeah, June
Oh.
June exams. So they have
Oh,
taken the
okay.
June exams.
Okay.
But no, I told them during the progress test. So I started telling them about it very early. So during the mock, the percentage of people cheating were very less.
Still? Okay.
Were very less
Alright,
compared
alright.
to the progress test.
Okay, jadi recently kan our June exams were finished, and now we're facing the September exams and following December exams. Any final tips for those who are taking these exams before?
Okay.
Like you don't doesn't even have to be like academic tips relating to like studies, tapi
Just like general.
general tips to like boost morale, keep motivation. Do you have any that you could share with us?
Okay. So I used to be a person who used to procrastinate a lot.
Okay.
I used to be very lazy. Like I think the toughest thing is to start. Like whatever we do, like the toughest thing is just to start. You know, but then I read a quote which I would like to read here.
Sure.
It's really motivating. So it says that, are you willing to be uncomfortable for 5 minutes? So the most difficult part is just like the starting part, the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
You know, it says that exercising is easier once you've started the workout. Conversation is easier once you are already talking.
Right.
Writing is easier once you're already in the middle of it. So the challenge is to start. Like you will have to want to be uncomfortable for the first 5 minutes, and then as it goes by, things will get easier.
Yeah.
Because here it also says that many of the rewards in life will elude you if you're not willing to be a little uncomfortable at first. So try to get a little uncomfortable at first so that you can proceed. I think it's just like ACCA. You know, like people say that it's too difficult.
Yeah,
The
the
one that we
stereotypes.
discussed,
Yeah.
yes. But once you're already in it,
You're getting
once
used
you
to it.
learn the modules one by one, step by step, then you know it's not that tough as what people say. So I think the key is to take it one step at a time. You know, if you think that the next day is going to get difficult, just think of the next few hours first. How will I get through the next few hours? If you think that the next hour is going to be difficult, just think of the first few minutes. How am I going to get through the first few minutes? So one step at a time, build small habits that would have a huge impact. You know, like at least try to get 1% better than what you were yesterday.
That's a really good tip.
Small habits will make a lot of difference.
It's really good. I've actually never heard that before. Apa, are you willing to be uncomfortable for
Yes, for the
the
first,
first
5
minutes?
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm sure I also have a lot of friends who study ACCA. They start studying.
Yeah, it's
We
really
go to
hard.
we go to a cafe. We start studying. 2 minutes in, on our phones.
Yes, exactly. That's what I
can't
used to
continue.
do too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like the first 5 minutes will of course be the hardest.
Worst, yeah.
But once you're already in it, it's like it just gets easier.
Yeah,
It just
definitely.
gets easier.
Especially with the stereotype that ACCA is tough and all.
Yes.
It just feels less.
Because you're looking at it like in a whole perspective from all the modules. Of course, if you ask me overall, is it difficult or not? Yes, it is difficult. But when you go through the modules one by one, you look at the study text, you flip the chapters one by one. It's like a constant process,
Yeah.
you know, and you can't really say or, you know, just conclude that it's difficult. When you go through the process, then only you will just know that it's not that difficult as what people think it is.
Definitely.
So go through the process, trust the process, and yeah, just small daily habits would be really useful.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the initiative have to come from yourself. You know, you need to be able to be firm with yourself and tell yourself that no matter what, I'm going to sit in the exam and I'm going to do well.
Right.
And it is also very important to sit in the exams with the right frame of mind. You know, most of the time we panic so much that we're not able to do the exams in the right frame of mind. Although we're able to do that question. You know, I was in that state in one of the exams. So I was in a really panic mode, and then I was not able to do the question. But when I saw the question, we always discuss the questions the next
Yeah.
day with my friends,
Yeah, of
who
course.
took the exams.
Yeah.
Then he was like, it's just simple, you just have to do this. I was like, oh yeah, why didn't I think of this?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I
a calm
noticed
head.
and I realized, that when you're in a panic mode, you can't see clearly, you can't get clear thinking.
Yeah.
So I think when you sit in your exam, make sure that you're in the right frame of mind. Make sure you get enough sleep at night, because I've ever done that
At
also.
night, specifically? At night?
Yeah, I mean, like I've studied till late, and then the next day it was my exam, but I wasn't able to concentrate well because I didn't get enough sleep.
No rest. Yeah.
So it's also important to rest well one day before your exam, and also like just few moments, like few minutes before the exam, to just stop yourself from panicking and all those, just erase.
Relieve yourself.
Yeah, just
Let it go.
erase all those
Yeah.
negative things that come up. Because There's so many things that would come up in your mind right before an exam. Will I be able to do it? What if this topic comes out? This is my weakest topic. What if this comes out? Your mind will just tell you so many things, and it will just distract you.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to stop those things from coming in your mind. And when doing the question, you just really need to absorb yourself so much in that question. You get so lost in that question that, you can't see anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But of course, while absorbing yourself in the question, you need to pay attention to the time as well.
definitely. Yeah, use what we've
Time
practiced
management, yeah.
from the mocks, the progress tests.
Yes.
All that experience, dump it in the CBE.
Yes. And I've also noticed that a lot of students try to escape from the mock exam.
Oh, okay.
During my experience as a lecturer, there were for example, if there were 15 students, so only 5 students attempted the mock. Thinking that because they said that I'm not ready. Again, the same thing. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But it's just a mock.
Yeah.
And it's where you learn. If you do your mock, then you would be able to know your weakest points. You will be able to have a simulation of the real exam, and that's where you will learn.
Yeah.
Without the mock, when you attend the real CBE without the mock, then you'll be on ground zero. You have zero experience.
Right.
So that's the thing. Another thing, that do probably at least 2 or 3 mocks before the exams.
Yeah, and LSAF actually offers a few mocks, right?
Yes.
3 mocks, right, before exams.
2.
Oh, 2 now. Okay.
Yeah.
And
But
then also
ACCA has also been kind enough to just, provide resources.
Right.
Recently, there was a pre-June mock that they have launched in the website before the June exams, before the June exam.
the one in my ACCA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pre-June mock.
The pre-June, yeah.
So, other than attempting those 2 mocks from LSAF, they can also go to the ACCA website
A lot of
to
resources.
attempt that mock. Yeah, there are so many. There's no dearth of resources
Yeah.
in the ACCA website. Past papers, articles, and so many other things.
Yeah. Miss Simran,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time and your insight on ACCA.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot who watch this would get more knowledge on how to cope with their current struggles and how to overcome themselves to actually complete their ACCA journey if they're struggling right now. And yeah, thank you so much, and thank you everyone who's been watching. And this has been the LSAF Podcast, your key to global careers. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.